everyone. Welcome. Hi, Debbie. Good evening. Hi, Melissa. Welcome. Hi, Peggy. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Beverly. Hi, Lana. Just me tonight. We'll have to muddle through without Robert. Be sure and say hello when you join us. I think we got enough people. Hi, Bernadine. Let's do our sound check. Let me know if you can hear okay. Hi, Connie. Has everybody downloaded our pattern? I'm going to post a link for it. Looks like Debbie got it. Cool. Or is that a thumbs up for the sound check? Hi, Karen. Robert is doing well. Thank you, everyone, for your condolences. Hi, Carol. Thank you for the sound check. Please, somebody let us know on Facebook if you can hear me okay, because we're having fun tonight. Hi, Laura. I love how the colors have turned out for this project. It's going to be super pretty. Hi, Cheryl from West Virginia. Facebook is good. Thank you. We'll give everybody a chance to jump on and we'll get started. Hi, Sarah. Welcome. Be sure and comment. I've got a good giveaway for tonight. We've got color of the month. Pattern link is good. We can hear you. Great. Thank you, Shannon. So let's get started. We are Quilters HQ, Windmill Sewing Center, Quilt Sampler, and Joan Sews. The websites are quiltershq.com, windmillsewingcenter.com, quiltsampler.com, and joansews.com. We have been doing a lot of work on Joan Sews, so be sure and go there and check it out. We've added a lot of products. I want to eventually add the products from all the stores into one place. It's going to be awesome. So when you get time, just check it out. So tonight we are starting our first block. You're going to make 2 of them. We still do have fabric for kits. If you want one, the kit is $77.94. The pattern is free. Download the pattern anytime. I did include AccuQuilt cutting instructions for the pattern. So if you have the 8-inch cube, you've got all of that available to you, and you can just change out your colorway however you want if you want to do it. But I am loving how this turned out. This is our block that we're making tonight. It looks kind of yellow, but it's actually kind of a ochre green. I guess it looks pretty close to the color, but beautiful block. This is a 16-inch block. Let me just move you up. 16-inch block, and I've already got the whole quilt cut out. Was super easy to do with AccuQuilt. Let me move it a little further back so you can see what we're working on. And then I've got all of my pieces, hey Flea, in my little basket, and they're just gonna stay there while we finish this project together. Hi Linda. So let me post the pattern link again, and if you want a kit, it is right next to the pattern. $77. It's a little bit cheaper because you're not having to pay for the pattern too. So I think you'll like it, and I think it turned out really pretty. I think you'll like it too. Okay, let's get started on our block. I've got one printed out. I've already pulled out all of my pieces. We're going to go over to the sewing machine. I'm taking you with me, and I printed out a sheet of block so that we can put it together. So it is a very pretty block. I think it's going to be a beautiful quilt. I do recommend you get this kit while we still have them. So, because as soon as we hang this up in the store, the kits are going to fly out. Okay, I am on my way. Okay, put this back there so I can still see what you guys are saying. Let's turn this off because we don't need quite that much contrast. Maybe a little more than that. How's that look? Hello, Cecilia. So this is our block. And the way that it's sewn together is it's basically a 9 patch with odd sizes. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to chain piece a lot of this, and I'm so disappointed because I have misplaced my little tool. I'm still looking for it. My multifunction finger presser tool. So let's just go ahead and get started. And we're going to just piece our shapes together. So we've got some flying geese to do. And these are wedge shapes. And I am playing bobbin chicken tonight, because I haven't checked, and I did make that other bobbin. And I have been doing some sewing lately. I haven't been able to spend a lot of time in my sewing room, but a little bit. So what have you guys been working on? Has anybody already started this project? I just love how rich these colors look together. Okay, let's do the other half of our shape. And we're just going to piece a whole bunch of stuff together, chain piecing style. So the piece that I'm doing right now is this wedge right here. We'll set that aside. We can do our blocks, our 4-patch. Trying to finish the pumpkin spice. That is a fun quilt. Oh, thank you. I decided to take some time and paint my nails. I didn't go to the salon and get them done. I have a collection of nail polish and did some self-maintenance. This block did go together in about 30 minutes, so you'll spend about, once you get it cut out, about an hour piecing it together. Move this just a little bit. Got all the blocks finished. That's awesome. Okay, so there's half of our 4-patch put together. We've got the white and the kind of greenish yellow. So we have 3 different flying geese in this set. Those 3. I'm going to start with the white because it gets this purplish pink patterned, as that's this one right here, and it helps build the border around the center block. I was just noticing my pattern looks green, but it is actually more of a yellow fabric. Has anybody started this project? Because I saw a bunch of people downloaded the pattern 2 weeks ago. Okay, so then these others get white pieces. Everybody's pretty quiet tonight. Some of these shapes I did press the seams open. I'm going to try it. There's not a lot. There's a little bit of overlapping seams. But I'm going to try this block with just pressing the seams in one direction. Picked out some fabrics, but no cutting. Downloaded and printed. Okay, awesome. I think this is a pattern to keep. It's a very scrappy pattern. The original is Holiday Fabrics. But you could absolutely do this in multiple colorways. I picked out some underappreciated fabrics that we had in the shop. I mean, this is a collection that I'm actually shocked that we still have, but I'll have to see if I can get a picture of Judy's quilt that she made with this. Hi, Terry. Good evening. Cut everything apart and then just, hi Jerry. Go to the iron real quick and press all of this stuff. And then we can start assembling our units. And as I'm going through, I'm watching to make sure that, you know, I pieced all of my pieces, you know, right sides together. Because I do that frequently, piece the wrong way. Oh no, Peggy, I'm sorry you're having to deal with the heat. Ugh, that sounds awful. Okay, let's just spin around here real quick and take a little minute to iron this stuff. Quilts. Okay. Well, my iron didn't. It started cooling off. But it does heat up quick. I do like these little irons and the wool mat combination. Set those aside. Normally I would say press towards the, let's get you a little closer there, towards the darker color, but it doesn't really work well with this wedge shape. And our flying geese. Last little bit of ironing for a second. Okay. Let's pick up our flying geese and finish those. Hang on, a little bit of an earthquake here. And can't wait to see your quilts, Lana. They're always beautiful. I can't wait either. So there is a little bit of a notch here. Move it down. There we go. You can see it. I always cut these off simply because I use this guide, and it kind of messes me up a little bit with the guide. So I always just cut that little piece off before I start sewing these. And I probably should be using smaller scissors, but they're in my pocket, so. Okay. Okay, these go with that. Do you sell the guides? We do. We sell a different one. This one is designed for industrial machines. We don't sell this one, but I could look for that one. We do sell one that's very similar, which I think I have one here that I can show you, because I have starting to sew it the wrong way. They're 17, I think, and they work on straight stitch machines. So it depends on the machine that you have. Bernina makes a specific foot for that has a guide for their machines. The problem that you have with machines that do a zigzag is the feed dogs are wider, and it's hard to make them work with those machines because it ends up covering part of the feed dogs. Okay, back to white. Looks like we're going to go a little bit past our time tonight, but hang in there with me. We are going to get this finished. Once we get our little segments, all of our flying geese and 4 patches together, it goes pretty quick. Just occasionally checking to make sure I'm still making stitches. Okay, so I have these left. I need 4 half square triangles just like those. Let's piece those, and then we're going to also make our four patches. And this is how I typically sew too. This like I'll piece everything that I can before I go back to the iron. Okay, 4 patch. Let's piece these. And I just want to make sure, yep, they're going to go together just like that. Now if you've noticed, I haven't been back stitching, but typically when I piece units together, I do. Keeps them from coming apart, because sometimes we have to tug on our seams to make them line up. Even using AccuQuilt, sometimes that happens to me. And that just keeps everything from coming apart. Dig my little scissors out. Okay. These are flying geese units. And that tail. All right, let's spin around here and press this stuff out, and then we're going to start assembling bigger units. Grab all my stuff. Oops. And my iron. Flip this stuff over. Oh, wrong way. There we go. Oh, Willow's coming in to say hi. Okay. Sorry, sometimes it's hard to keep things lined up where you can see it. I'm used to just setting stuff down and ironing it really quick. There's our flying geese, our little square. There we go. So cute. Okay. And our half square triangles. Okay, let's grab our pieces and go back to the machine, and we're going to do some layout. Because of these pieces, they are easy to get going the wrong direction, And what I'm looking at is this point. So it's hard for you to, hard to see. There is an actual white patch there. You can see it a little better. And so our corner is going to lay out like this. And these pieces are going to attach like this. Let me move it over a little bit where you can see it a little better. There you go. So I'm going to sew all of these together just like this. Again, I'm using that lock stitch. It is a pretty small iron. It doesn't take up a lot of electricity either, which is nice. Okay, so let's start with our flying geese. We'll come back and do the other half of, well, actually, let's do this piece. Because if you look at our pattern, we're piecing this right here now. And so this is going to go together. If this piece is like this, well, it's going to be like that. This is going to go on just like that and create this kind of effect. So let's do these while we're here, and then we'll move on to our flying geese. Okay, flying geese. So we'll set these pieces aside for a second. We're actually building the corner of our little triangle here. So these pieces are going to go together like that. I have found that this is a little bit stretchier, so if you have any fullness to work out, put that on the bottom. So you can see, like, there's a little bit of a difference there, and my feed dogs can work that in to the block. Plus, when you're looking at your flying geese, you have this little X right here. Let's see if I can get it in again. There we go. Right here, this intersection that you can see to sew through. And that helps keep your points sharp on your flying geese. At least it has worked for me. If you have tips for sewing flying geese that you absolutely love, this would be a great place to share that. Well, thank you, April. Hello, Cheryl. Hi, Cindy. For those of you who just joined, we are working on this block right here. Okay, So that's all of the sewing I can do without having to go to the iron. So let's cut all this apart, go to the iron. Our units just keep getting bigger. Hang on. I think this block is really pretty. I am very happy with how it turned out. And then I'm going to press these in one direction, and I'm going to go in the direction of this flat side so that it reduces bulk. Makes a little chevron. Okay, so with these pieces, I have to think about what direction I'm going to press my seams. With these larger ones, I'm going to go press them out towards the edge of the block. And with the other portion of this, I'm going to go just the opposite because I want to nest that seam. So I'm going to press towards the other way so that these nest when we piece it together. Okay. Let's pick up our pieces, go back to the sewing machine. Let's finish our flying geese section. So these are going to attach just like that. And again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put this straight side on the bottom so that I can watch where my needle is going through in that intersection. Even if you don't decide to make this, go out and get the pattern because it is a free pattern. And as people have said, this is a really beautiful block. You could just make this block over and over and over into a quilt and it would be an absolute stunning quilt. Okay, let's finish our little segment here. It's going to go together like that. So I'm just nesting that seam. And then we're going to start, this is the last little bit, we're going to start assembling the block. Oops, unthreaded, no stitches. One of my tips is when you are threading your machine, take your foot off your pedal. I learned that lesson the hard way. Let me try that again because I just created a knot. I actually did sew through my finger by not doing that once. I was resting my foot on the pedal and had a little bit of pressure on it. Not on this machine. This was on an older machine that I used to have. It was unpleasant. Because of course it stopped with the needle down. And I had to decide, do I want to use the hand wheel or the button? And I think it's a good thing to know your own limits, and I knew my limit was not going to be to use the hand wheel, so I hit the button. Okay, let's go back to the iron for a second and press these pieces. And we're going to start assembling our block. I guess that's what we're doing right now, right? So yeah, take your foot off the pedal when you don't want to drive. Okay. So again, I'm just going to press these towards the outside of our section. And again, towards that flat, the no seam part of the flying geese. Okay, back to sewing. We are almost done with this. We're going to grab our center block. Okay. And we are going to piece our center section first. Okay, coming together, and then we want to make sure that our pieces are pointing the right direction. So I'm basing it off, this block goes on the outside, and so just like that. Let's make another one of those just like that. Pieces like that. We'll just laying it out to make sure, and I'm looking for this angle in my block. And like that. Okay, let's press these real quick. Move that out of the way. Okay, so with the middle, I am going to press the middle towards, let's figure this out real quick. Yeah, I'm going to press the middle towards the center. So my seam is going to go that direction. These, because the flying geese has so many seams, I'm going to press this towards the outside. Okay, let's finish our block. So I'm just nesting these center seams right there, and then I'm going to line up this corner. Make sure that's nested. Pull my fabric over just a smidgen. And then nest up that next seam. Got a seam that wants to go the wrong direction. Looking pretty good. So if you're sewing this along with us, you need to make 2 of this block. And there we have it. Okay, let's leave this here. We can go look at the other one that I made. I'll meet you over there. And we'll go through our giveaway. So pretty. It is a pretty quick block, Vicki. So I mean, for a 16-inch block, it is a little bit of piecing, but if you use that same method that I do, where you piece everything you can and then go to the iron, or use your multifunction finger presser tool, your doohickey, then it kind of makes it a little bit quicker. Let's do our thread colors. We have 2 of them. The first one, let me come around to the camera so you can see them a little closer. This one is Creme de Menthe. It is very, very pretty. It's variegated. It is color number 4662. The next one is color number 2850. It is medium juniper. Also a very beautiful color. Comment, make it mine. Let us know whether or not you want to ship or pick up in the store. They are 15% off the show, 20% off if you're in the club. If you're not in the club, it's $20 to join. You get this little box, and then you get 20% off of all of your thread purchases for Aerofil. And then our giveaway tonight is, here it is. I made a gift bag. I have a lot of these little bags. We can't have enough of these. Put these in your car, and you know, when you buy a whole bunch of stuff. And so I put a whole bunch of stuff in. Well, I didn't put a whole bunch of stuff, but there is some stuff on here. So we've got a Wonder Grip and Thimble. So it doesn't have a size on it, but it's kind of a rubbery kind of thimble. And then we've got some quilt labels. I think these are from Moda that you can sew on your quilts. It says quilting is an art. There's just little things on them. A little purse notepad, and then a jelly roll ruler. This makes a half hexie. It's a great little ruler to have. So, and a nice little bag from Brother. So let's go through looking for number. But yes, very pretty block. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you're making it. Again, if you're thinking about a kit, don't wait, because once we hang this up in the store, the fabric is going to get sold out. That's kind of how it works. And our winner tonight is Connie Cole. And I spelled your name wrong. I apologize for that. Connie, if you have not shopped with us before, please go to quiltershq. Well, no, go to Facebook. Any of the Facebook pages and let us know your address. Direct message us. And we will get this in the mail to you. If you are local, let us know, and we'll have it at the shop for you to pick up. So, congratulations. If you want any of the thread, you'll come get it. Okay, I'll have it at the shop tomorrow. And I have a whole bunch of bags. This is, let me show you my goodie bag. My goodie bag of bags. So we go places, they always give us bags. I have good bags too. So anyway, but be sure and follow along, because this is going to be a really, 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 really beautiful quilt, I think. So it'll be fun. And that is us for tonight. As always, don't forget, check your thread path, oil your hook, and change your needle. And we will see you here next Tuesday if we don't see you sooner. Good night.